This is the basic 5 steps process of how you play as a team leader. So the first thing is you review how to be a team leader, and there's a guide, which I will share more with you in a moment. They're right below here. But step 1 is there's a guide called How to Become a Team Leader, and you read that, and that tells you, it's really a deeper dive into what some of what we've said here, but this is more on the platform that tells you more of the process. Then the second thing is you read How to Facilitate the Information Meeting. That's another guide. You as a team leader will be leading an information meeting that helps onboard people to the game. These are potential team members. Some of you will know people that you want automatically on your team, and you're not using this information meeting to enroll them, but really just to inform them. But others of you may discover that you want to actually bring people together that you don't know well, and that information meeting will help you to do that. So it's got 2 purposes. And then the third step is once people have committed to joining your team, you enter their names and invite your team members section below, which you'll see, to formally invite them onto the team. They will then get a welcome email, and Miranda, we'll show that in a moment, how that process works. But it's a pretty straightforward process, but I want to not just give you a verbal, but show you a visual on that. And then step 4 is that you read How to Facilitate the Team Building Meeting, and you learn how to move people through that process. So fundamentally, as a team leader, you sign up to be a team leader. Miranda will show you how to do that online. And then you go deeper into what that means as a team leader by reading the guide. And then you have responsibilities to do 3 things: to get people onboarded through an information meeting, to get them to join the game, and there's a process for how to get them into playing, which is step 3. And then you lead a team building meeting where the team that's now come together congeals into a team. And that's it. I say mix and stir, and peace on earth is on the way. I mean, it's not complicated. I mean, once you understand it, it's pretty simple, actually. But you just have to know where things are, which is why we're familiarizing you. So these are the team leader guides. There are 3 of them. There's a link down below, we found out from some people playing. I think it was you, Brooke. We're clicking on how to be a team leader and it didn't click, and so we're going to make that hot linked as well as down below. But this is where that actually is, how to get into the different guides. So how to be a team leader automatically shows up. So it tells you why be a team leader, what do you need to do, building a vision for yourself, how to manifest your vision, what we found, best practices for creating a high performance team, and if you want to create a co-leader, what that option looks like. And if you need this guide in a print version, because for whatever reason that would be helpful to you, in some cases, some people may not have full access to the internet all the time in some parts of the world, like Kabul, then there's an ability to print it. And then we have the information meeting, which I described, which gives the introduction to that meeting. And then there's how to prepare for the meeting, the information meeting script, the meeting script. The fundamental idea of an information meeting, as you will see as I describe, is to really get people familiar with the game, so that when they join the team building meeting, they are not unfamiliar to what they are about to do. So this gets them properly onboarded. It helps them answer questions. There's a visioning exercise that helps them really step in and own this from the inside. And then you invite people to join, and then you organize the logistics for starting the next team. So it's pretty straightforward. It's practiced. Sue, I think Sue is on this call. Lebec is our platform director from Cool Block, where we've perfected this art. It's the same basic model. Sue's from San Francisco, and yay, Sue, so happy you're here playing in this other space. Brings immense experience in all this stuff. So that's the process of the information meeting. And again, there's a meeting script that lays it out in detail. And then lastly, we have the team building meeting. This is really where the rubber hits the road. because now you are moving a group of people that have now said yes to go on this adventure into becoming a team. So there's a how to prepare to lead that meeting. Of course, there's two versions of this, in person or virtual. There'll be a lot of virtual meetings, but there'll be some in person at this point. Then the meeting agenda. And again, this is the team leader's major job, right? Is to move people through the process of recruiting them, getting them properly onboarded into the game, and then getting them into the platform and registered, and then taking them on this team building meeting journey where they choose to now become a team, and they have a team purpose statement, and they learn how to take the first action. They begin taking that action right after the meeting, the way of oneness. They schedule all their meetings, and so on. And then there's a mutual accountability agreement where you promise to actually hold each other accountable and responsible. That's how the team works, is there's a lot of accountability to one another here. And then you review the next meeting and so on. And then some responsibilities post-meeting. So that's the basic flow of that. Let me just give you one more thing here, which I'm trying to see where it is, the team meeting flow. So this is how the basic flow of the meetings work. There are 8 meetings. So we call them poems, Peace on Earth meetings, and poets, Peace on Earth teams. And this is the flow, and you can begin to see they're color-coded because every meeting does 3 things. It previews the next meeting, it launches the action, and then it debriefs it in the following meeting. So each meeting basically goes through debrief, launch, preview, debrief, launch, preview, and so on. So you'll start to see that the actions transpire over a 3-meeting process. And that's how the game basically works, through this flow, if you will, from meeting to meeting. Okay, so last thing I want to say is that we created a Jedi training. Some of you have been on this Jedi training. The Jedi training's purpose was to help you show up at a more profound level. So it is recommended that you view these classes. You can do them as you wish. This is our Jedi mission. So these are the hardcore people that want to change the world. So accelerate humanity's transition to a higher frequency and the golden age. So some of you have come out of the Jedi training, but each of these classes help you get grounded in each of the actions. And it talks about the frequency and the architecture of the action from a second order change or social change 2.0 point of view. It initiates you as a Jedi, which is, the definition of a Jedi is someone who's accelerating humanity's transition to a higher frequency in the golden age. And then there's our code, but I won't go into too much detail here. But each of these classes gives you a lot of depth. It's a hour and a half to 2 hour class. And some of you have been on these classes and you know what this is. But this is a deeper dive. And some people are actually doing these as the alternative weeks between the actual meetings, where they'll work on the inner part of their own development as well as the outer part of taking the actions in the world.